So now let's look at the tools or the solutions or the secrets to actually maximizing your productivity. First of all, we need to clear your mental clutter. And we all have clutter. We need to free up our energy and attention. And we talked a lot about that today. We need to look at the unfinished business that we have, and worries. We need to deal with them. So if you have unfinished business, I suggest that you put them down and start dealing with them one by one. If it's bothering you that a cousin is not speaking to you because this happened, you can try to resolve it, or you can try to let it go totally. If you have an issue with a colleague, go talk to them, and it's on them if they want to solve it or not. If not, you know what I mean, Curtis? Just let it go. Prioritize what are the mental clutters that you have that you need to get rid of. What is robbing your time more than anything else? This is number one. Number two, mental awareness. Remember that there is something called the power of I am. Put everything in the present tense. So even if you have goals or resolution, put it in present tense as if it's happening today. You're helping your brain program that it's happening, so it starts preparing yourself into it. No worries about your future or the past. Realize what's really important to you. Again, don't live in the past. Don't live in the future. Live in the present, because the present is a gift. We use the word present as a gift, correct? So it's a gift for you. It's very rude not to use your presents, right? Your gifts. So that's what I mean. Number three, the willpower. We lose a lot of willpower trying to decide on minimal things in our life. We need to concentrate more about building energy through habits. And like I said, the morning routines, the night routines, if we start implementing them step by step, it can actually free a lot of willpower, a lot of time, and a lot of stress in the morning. I'd rather spend 10 minutes at night putting my keys. Now I have a habit. It's a habit now. The minute I get home, all my keys go on a small table by the door. So no matter what happens, I'm in a rush or I have an emergency, I know I can just grab both my keys and run out of the door. I know exactly where they are. Now I know where my purses are, for example. The night before, I think about what I'm going to wear. And I imagine, okay, if I'm working and my husband is still home, he usually leaves at 6 o'clock in the morning, but what if he's not working today and I have to work? So I don't want to wake him up, right? So I get into the mentality of getting everything out of the room and putting it in another room. So I will be ready, including the jewelry, including the earrings, including the rings, everything. I write, before we travel, 2 days before, I put a list of things that we have. So guess what? We do not forget anything, including the stevia and the creamer, the non-dairy creamer that we take. It's up to that. So if you prepare your things, you free that willpower, you free that energy. Again, slow down to speed up. That's what I mean by that. And then, of course, deal with your time in minutes, not in hours. Like, even if you need to talk to someone, schedule it in 15 minutes. Be very selfish with your time, because people will use your time as much as they can for what they want. So you need to take care of yourself first and make sure to schedule it in minutes so you don't have any interruptions. And that's why you need to set priorities first thing in the morning. Balance inside out, and we talked about balance. It's like balance whatever you do at work with whatever you do at home, with whatever you do in your community. Realize that we will always have internal conflicts, but is what we do with them. Make sure that like I said, create like a sanctuary for you, like you did, Curtis, like that tree, like that bench, like a corner in the house, like a reading corner in the house that you have, like a little bit, put a picture that makes you positive on your desk. Put a quote on your computer that reminds you of something positive. Create a good environment around you. Like in my office now at home, I have a full room in the back that is an office. I put shelves and I put little statues on it. I put my laughing Buddha on it, because for me, I believe this is would bring wealth, even if it doesn't, but that's what I believe. So that's why it's there. So it becomes my own environment. So it makes me feel positive when I get into the office and I feel like I want to work. So I make my environment positive the way that I want it so I can produce more. And also, like we said, schedule on your calendar, not to-do list, but actually schedule it on a calendar and prepare triggers, even if you have to do it alarms on your phone. Choose, not decide. Because decide ends with side at the end. Homicide, suicide. Side means to kill something or to stop something. So rather choose what to do with your time and not to decide what to do with your time. It's a mind shift. It's something very minimal, but again, we talk about the power of words. This is very important, power of words. To choose, meaning that you have the power to actually do it. Reinvigorating your body through water, through walking, through breathing. And most important part is to unplug. Like you said, Anne, go to the mountain, go to the beach. Unplug even if you go into a corner and close your eyes. Not sleeping, but close your eyes, just you need to unplug. Every month we make it a point, my husband and I, we go away for one weekend. And when we go on the weekend, I just take my tablet that doesn't have any work. It has internet, so I watch funny videos, and it just and I don't touch my emails, I don't touch work, I don't respond to phone calls. That weekend is living in the moment. It's only my husband and I. That's it. Because the whole month is crazy, so at least we know that we have these 3 days, that we know, and we come back and we book the next one, so we have something positive to look forward to. Unplug is very important. It resets your whole brain again. Our body has wear and tear like anything else. That's why we need to do it. So anticipate how you're going to sabotage yourself. Like I was telling you before, I know that this is what I was going to do, so I prepare myself from the beginning. Like, I know that, okay, I need to go to the gym. Okay, I need to go home and change, and my hair is going to be messed up, and I have to redo my hair, and all that, right? So what I do now, I take if I'm going somewhere and I want to meet my husband at the gym later on, I prepare my gym clothing and the towels and shoes and everything in a bag, and I have it in the car when I leave. So I take a few moments the night before and I do it. And now I've got something like a band, like an Adidas band that you put like this, and actually your hair doesn't get sweaty. So I don't have an excuse anymore. You know what I mean? So I know how I'm going to sabotage. I'm going to tell myself, it's okay, do it tomorrow because you don't have your clothing today. So I prevent that sabotage from the night before, and I do it. Or now when I go out and I know I'm going to be out the whole day, either I know where I'm going to go and have lunch, or I prepare my lunch so I don't say, just grab some chips. I know how I'm going to sabotage myself, so I prevent it from the get-go. And the more, of course, so I don't have that energy crash at the end of the day, so my productivity gets high. That's how everything is just connected. It's, again, that's why I said in the beginning, it's a mind shift. Also, Sir Richard Branson said that one of the reasons of his success is that he always has something to write on with him. So have something, if someone says an idea that appeals to you or something, write it down. Or if you remember something, we always have good ideas, but by the time we try to remember them, they're gone. So either, record them on the phone, or write them on a piece of paper. Just have something to retain your good ideas, especially if you're working. Emails is a most formidable weapon against productivity. And that's what we have been saying the whole morning. Check your emails only a few times a day, and don't do it first thing in the morning. So check it like every 2 hours, but at least half an hour after you get to the office. See your priorities, see your tasks, and then 20 minutes. Not half an hour, 20 minutes, because you already did this. So 20, but at least take the 20 minutes to check into, even if you have to get there a little bit earlier, just to make sure to arrange for your day. Be selfish with your time, like we said before, especially for the meeting. And learn to say no in a positive way. We talked about assertiveness. Whatever you can outsource or delegate, do it. You don't have to do everything yourself. Actually, delegating people, you're training them and you're coaching them on getting better. And also, there is something called the 80-20 rules. It has been proven that 80% of your productivity comes from only 20% of your efforts. So this is actually a marketing effort. They say that 20% of your clients get you 80% of your income. but they apply it to everything else. So try to think, what are the 20% of your efforts that are getting you the 80% of productivity? What is it that you do that helps you increase your productivity? And like I said earlier, touch things only once. Emails, bills, letters, folders, anything. Touch it once and let it go. Batch your work, meaning that if you have things that fall, like, for example, if I'm doing training, I know in the next 3 months, and they all about this subject. They all share that subject. So I will work that idea for the 3 projects at the same time, and then I will divide it and modify depending on what the subject is. But the main work is done, so I don't have to restart again the next time. Okay, like for example, when we cook, right, we know that everything, the base of our food is always sauteed onions and tomatoes and all that. So for example, on Christmas, when I need to do the stuffing and I need to do the beans and I need to do this, the base of everything is what they do, the celery, the onions, the thing. I don't do batch for everything. I do a big batch and then I divide it. And this way, I batch my work so I can save time. This is what I mean by batching work. Look what is similar and do it at the same time, and then tailor make it for whatever you need for effectiveness. Make sure that you have to follow your routines till they become a habit. I have enclosed 2 sheets for you here. This I want you to take. This is what we call a SWOT analysis. And a SWOT analysis is your strength point, your weak point, your opportunities, and your threats. This is remember when we start saying about knowing who you are and your inventory and where you start, this is your starting point. Write it down, because you don't realize what strength you have till you do it. The second one, this is what we call a skit figure. Skit, yeah. I want you on this figure, write, based on what you learned about productivity today or what we discussed today, what change you're going to do in your head and brain, in your eyes, in your ears, in your mouth, in your hands, in your heart, in your feet, and soul. Foot means action, like what action are you going to take? Hand, how you're going to handle things. Heart, how you're going to change your emotions. Brain, how you're going to change your thinking. Eyes, how you're going to look at things in a different way. So I want you to start thinking what changes you're bringing to make yourself more productive. And this would be like your, write it down, and then you can put it in front of you on your computer or your fridge or whatever, and it will remind you always how to stay productive. So let's go.